studio. We're going to speak to Tino Mambeu from the Zimbabwe Exiles Forum, South Africa. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. We heard from Robert Mugabe, as you heard Vuyo say, but let's start with the people of Zimbabwe, the people who matter the most in this election. They're all very excited. They're all saying that they're going to make their mark tomorrow and they want to see change.
Of course. Let me start by thanking you for having me on studio. It's quite a pleasure. Zimbabweans have spoken. They want change, and they want real change. We were excited in November when we heard Mugabe leaving power, resigning, and we marched in the streets. We were promised a lot of things, and those things did not materialize. The problems that bothered Zimbabweans then still bother them now, except for the freedom to associate and the freedom of speech that we have seen. But overall, it has been a disaster in terms of the management by Emmerson Mnangagwa. He has failed to deliver, and the people now want him out like yesterday. The message is very clear. It's without any equivocation. The people are tired. They want change, and they want change that delivers.
So you say not much has happened in Zimbabwe since Emmerson Mnangagwa took over, but I have research here showing that, and this is what he says,
yes,
according to the president, that the economy grew. It's an upward trend from 2.7% in 2017 and is currently at 4.8%. He expects it to reach 6% by year end. So he is doing something right.
Well, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. It's one story to say that the economy has grown. The people that feel the growth of the economy are the ordinary citizens on the streets. If people were getting $50 when he came into power from the ATMs, and now after 9 months they are no longer getting anything, it means that the economy is not growing. So it's actually growing in his own head, and that is what he would want people to believe. But I think that is, the opposite is true. There has not been any significant growth. In any event, there has been, there's been a lot of lack of confidence in his administration, and the people are saying enough is enough. So I don't buy that. I don't buy that line at all. I think it's a line that is meant to try and gain sympathy from the people and attract a few votes that is going to get tomorrow. In any event, the people I think you have spoken, they are they are quite clear in what they really want. And I personally thought that we now had a better dispensation when Mugabe went down. But turning the pages and moving, into the 9 months of his rule, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Poverty has continued to cripple the majority of Zimbabweans. Inequality, and lack of medicines in hospitals, lack of beds. People sleep on the floor in hospitals. That is not what a new dispensation can be about, unless if it is a negative new dispensation or a desperation, in other words.
So who do you reckon is going to change things around in Zimbabwe?
It is a simple fact. MDC Alliance, led by Nelson Chamisa, is the promise that the people have been waiting for. It is a feat that we want to try in SADC to make sure that we elect a young man who has got vision and, a new start, a new beginning, a new cabinet, new policies. That is clear. We want to set a precedent that indeed the young people of today can be in a position to determine their future. We cannot export our future to the hands or trust our future into the hands of a few old people that have, that have limited number of years to live. I don't think they are quite capable. And again, I say it, for the past 9 months, we have not seen reasonable change that can compel us to think otherwise.
Do you think it's going to be a free and fair election? I know that Nelson Chamisa was a bit skeptical about how things are going to play out.
Well, that is in the public domain. It's not a free and fair election. In fact, it's kind of a sham election that we are going into. There are several issues that have been raised by by the people of Zimbabwe, the political parties. They have complained around the issue of the voters' roll, which was availed without, which is improper, with no photographs and that. Not only that, we have complained about the ballot design. They come up with a scrupulous design of a ballot which finds Mnangagwa at the top of a page. We have never seen that in previous elections. It smacks of a desire to make these elections favor a certain individual. But as the people of Zimbabwe, we are unfettered. We are not tired. We are preparing to be the policemen of the ballot. People in their multitudes will make sure that they guard against any kind of mischievous acts by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission in collusion with ZANU-PF. I think we have seen the exposés that have been flooding the media as to how Zeki has been mishandling the process leading to elections. That will continue tomorrow, and people are very vigilant. People are willing to protect their vote. We want change that delivers, not change that looks like change when there is no delivery at all.
So I want to ask you lastly about the former president, Robert Mugabe's comments. He says that he won't vote for those who tormented him. He also says that Zimbabweans are not free since what he calls a de facto coup.
Well, the biggest mistake that Mnangagwa did was to think that he could go it alone. If he had opted to have a government of national unity after deposing Mugabe, he would have had time to rebuild and time to reconcile the people. But he thought ZANU-PF was in there and the people were up with him. Unfortunately, the odds were turned against him and he could not deliver. And that is the biggest problem that we have. So in other words, yes, Mugabe is angry. He will not give his vote to Emerson. He has said it is quite clear, and he has said that there is no other choice except for Chamisa. So he's going to be voting for Chamisa. Out of revenge, yes, but also the generality of Zimbabweans feel that we have been sold a dummy by this administration of ED, which said that they were coming in to take out criminals that were surrounding the president. How many criminals have been arrested? Nicholas Goje, for that matter. He was arrested shortly and he was released, and there's no any visible crime that has been laid against him. So who are the criminals that were surrounding the president? There's no criminal that was surrounding the president. In fact, the criminals are the ones that are currently in power, you know, hiding under pseudo allegations that there are people that it's a problem. It's a very, very big problem, in other words.
All right, thank you so much for your time, sir. Appreciate it. Tino Mambeu from the Zimbabwe Exiles Forum in South Africa.